Hi folks, Max Hale here with Comprehensive Outdoors. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to tie a bellyache minnow, or at least my version of a bellyache minnow. Bellyache minnow originated on the Pueblo Reservoir in Colorado for fishing for wiper, which is a cross between a white bass and a striped bass. They look just about like that. We're going to be tying one in white and pink today. Hope you guys enjoy. First things first, we're going to start out with a size 6 tin-plated saltwater hook from Gamakatsu. And I'll walk us through materials as we go. First things first, we need some hairline ice dub. I like pearl for my white. We need some tungsten scud bodies. And we need some rabbit strip of our preferred color. And I'll be doing white and pink. I got some white rabbit zonker. And I'm just going to build a halfway decent little thread base there. And grab out one of my scud bodies. They're tungstens, they're super heavy, and that's what's going to give us that bellyache look. What I'm going to do is take a little bit, we're about, I don't know, towards the front half of the fly, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm going to take a little bit of super glue, lay it on there, and take our scud body, put it down kind of there on that thread base. And press it in because they got a notch on the bottom that's supposed to hold them in. And then we're going to wrap that in nice and tight. They got those ridges for the thread. Makes it super easy. I like to do a little helicoptering. And there she sits. Now we'll move on to doing our tail. And that tail is going to be that pearl ice dub. We're going to take a section of it, kind of roll it out a little bit, see what we're working with. You can pull some of the loose fibers out, grab them, make sure that you're not going to just be losing all your tail. So that looks good. Fluff that front side, we'll use that. And we're going to lay that directly behind that scud body. Come back just a little bit. We're going to tie that in there. Just like that. It does look a little sparse, but once you see what we're going to do, it'll thicken it right up. So I'm going to pull it tight over that scud body and wrap forward just about halfway. Tie it off, and then come back and get it to thicken up that tail there. And you see it wrapped about halfway forward. So now we are wrapped there. And what I'm going to do is get some dubbing wax out, and we're going to dub the remainder all the way forward. I like to get this dub on the thread as tight as I can, make it look nice. And then we can go ahead and start wrapping forward with that dub from our tail. Did it right, which it looks like we did. That'll wrap us right up there to the front of that scud body. Just like that's what we're looking at now. All right, so this is kind of a step that I like to do. I feel like it holds in that top a little better. It doesn't just like pull out all the dubbing. So wrap diagonal back. Yeah, maybe this will work. Diagonal back once, diagonal back twice, 3 times, turn it around and go the other direction. And try to kind of, and you can see it kind of makes that crosshatch pattern on there. And I think it just holds it together nicely. So now we can move on to our rabbit. So we're gonna cut a piece of our preferred color. I'd say 1.5 inches long. The thing you gotta remember with the rabbit is that you got this little piece right there that has no hair coming off of it. So we want to take it and cut a nice little V in the back of it. Kind of like that, so it all lays out nice. And we're gonna pierce now the hook right there at the head of that V. Straight through the rabbit fur. And then we'll pull it down and cinch it up around the base of that hook. And tie back in. So now we're left with that right there. Mess their fur a little bit and measure it out to the front. I like to trim before I tie in. Actually, sorry, after I tie in. Kind of part the hair a little bit there. Figure out where I'm going to be tying it. Pull it nice and taut so we don't have any movement in it. And give yourself a good few wraps there. Now we can go ahead and trim off our excess. Nice and tight because we don't not want to crowd the eye there. Come back and trim off what you missed. And then go ahead and cover that all in thread. All right. Half hitch, whip finish it. And we'll get our eyes on and we'll come back. And I like to color the nose with some black thread because I just think it looks good. So for the eyes, I'm using this Solares Bone Dry stuff, UV activated glue. I like it. I'll also use Loctite Super Glue, the gel stuff. It works. It's just you can't touch it for about 2 hours after, because if you touch it at all, it gets cloudy and white on the top. But if you let it rest right, it'll do just fine. Some stick-on eyes, some stickies, nothing too fancy there. And we're gonna try to put the eyes right about there. I'll show you guys. I'm gonna take a little glue, dabble it on there. I'll try to keep it away from that rabbit fur because the rabbit fur will get all matted down with it if we're not careful. And grab one of my eyes. Beautiful. All around that eye with some nice glue. Make sure I don't have it running anywhere on me. And then we can go ahead and hit it with our UV light. And that'll do. Now I do the exact same on the other side. Nice bit of glue. Throw our eye on there, and then I like to turn it right side up to kind of gauge where they are in relation to each other. Peek at it from the front, and that looks good. And now I like to come in here in between them and tie them in with some glue. Kind of make a little bit of a glue head. And that'll really keep them tied together and not wanting to pop off. All nice and hardened up. For my final step, take some black thread. All right. Couple half hitches, trim your excess, a little bit of this glue. And there she is. We are all done. And there you have it. The bellyache minnow. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. And like I said, this is just my interpretation of the bellyache minnow. Any way you want to tie it and have fun.